Welcome to the virtual presentation of the 2020 AAEA Awards and Fellows ceremony. Tonight is our annual opportunity to recognize the outstanding achievements of agricultural and applied economists. My name is Joan Fulton, and I am the chair of the 2020 AAEA Awards Committee. This ceremony will have two parts. First, I will present the AAEA Annual Awards, and then we will culminate the ceremony with the recognition of the 5 individuals who have earned the AAEA's highest honor as AAEA Fellow. Professional success depends on professional recognition. This is why each year we come together to recognize AAEA's members who have contributed to the profession in a variety of ways. These awards are bestowed for their achievements in research, teaching, and extension. We'll proceed through these awards. Our first recognition tonight will be for the Outstanding Master's Thesis Award. This year we have 3 winners. The first recipient is Andrew Swanson of Montana State University with the cost of cooperation, the effects of Section 199 on basis for farm cooperatives in the Midwest. Congratulations, Andrew. Our second winner is Ethan Sabala of Texas Tech University with essays in trade policy analysis, Chinese tariffs on U.S. agricultural markets. Congratulations, Ethan. Our third recipient of the Master's Thesis Award is Gabriela Sorg of the University of Minnesota with dairy confined animal feeding permits on public notice as a leading indicator of milk supply. Congratulations. We have 2 honorable mentions for the Outstanding Master's Thesis Award. The first goes to Emma Jurtsev of the University of California, Davis for deforestation monitoring programs work, evidence from the Environmental Property Registry and satellite data in Brazil. Our second honorable mention goes to Susanna Constania Velasloda of Cornell University for development resilience, a comparison of popular measurement methods. This year's subcommittee granted 3 outstanding doctoral dissertation awards as well. The first recipient is Alexandra Hill of the University of California, Davis for determinants of productivity, quality, and labor supply, and analysis of U.S. agricultural workers. Congratulations. Also receiving the Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award is Jonathan Proctor of the University of California, Berkeley for the value of light, prompt response to optical scattering, and generalizable Earth observation. Congratulations. Our third winner is Malik Jagnani of Yale University for essays on human capital, environment, and development. The AAA now recognizes 3 of the finest teachers in our profession. The winner of the AAEA Teaching Award for less than 10 years of experience is Amanda Countryman of Colorado State University. Congratulations, Amanda. In the category of undergraduate teaching for 10 years or more experience, the subcommittee selected Larry DeBoer of Purdue University. Congratulations, Larry. And the winner of the AAEA Teaching Award for 10 years or more experience in graduate teaching is Liliane Fulginiti of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Congratulations, Liliane. Our next award category is for Distinguished Extension and Outreach Programs. This year, AAEA Distinguished Extension Outreach Program Award recipient for individuals with less than 10 years experience is Becca Jablonski of Colorado State University. Congratulations, Becca. The AAEA Distinguished Extension Outreach Program Award for more than 10 years goes to Maria Marshall of Purdue University. Congratulations, Maria. The AAEA Extension Outreach Program Group Award goes to Matthew Stockton, Darren Rudnick, Chuck Burr, and Robert Tinger of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Congratulations to all of you. Our next award is the Bruce Gardner Memorial Prize for Applied Policy Analysis. This award carries a cash prize and plaque supported by the Bruce Gardner Memorial Special Purpose Fund of the AAEA Trust. For his research that has greatly impacted food security and nutrition in developing countries, AAEA awards the Bruce Gardner Memorial Prize for Applied Policy Analysis to John Hodnott of Cornell University. Congratulations, John. The Quality of Research Discovery Award is granted to exceptional publications in the fields of agriculture and applied economics which demonstrate excellence in research methodology, the conceptualization of researchable problems, and/or empirical analysis. The winner of this year's Quality of Research Discovery Award goes to Edward Perry, Kansas State University, Federico Celebrato of the University of Virginia, Giancarlo Moschini of Iowa State University for valuing product innovation, genetically engineered varieties in U.S. corn and soybeans. Congratulations to all of you. We have an honorable mention for the Quality of Research Discovery Award. This goes to Nelson Valoria of Kansas State University for technology spillovers and land use change, empirical evidence from global agriculture. Congratulations to you, Nelson. The Quality of Communication Award recognizes superior communication of concepts or data in any area of agricultural economics. The winner of this year's Quality of Communication Award goes to Farzad Tahirpour of Purdue University, Thomas Hurdle of Purdue University, Navan Ramankudi of the University of British Columbia for market-mediated responses, confound policies to limit deforestation from oil palm expansion in Malaysia and Indonesia. Congratulations and wonderful work. The AAEA Mentoring Award recognizes individuals in our association who have systematically shown consistent, outstanding efforts in fostering junior female and/or minority colleagues. The winner of this year's AAEA Mentoring Award goes to Cesar Escalante of the University of Georgia. Congratulations, Cesar. We would like to recognize Robin Shoemaker for the Presidential Recognition Award for his service to AAEA. Robin contributed greatly to the profession while at USDA. Robin had a productive career at the USDA ERS, but we particularly note the role he played when he moved to USDA NIFA. There, he had at least two profound effects. First, he influenced the NIFA call for proposals to evolve, and he could see how economics could be woven into various topics. He also managed the grant selection process with fairness and wisdom. Finally, I note his willingness to advise and mentor young economists as they craft an idea into a viable proposal. On behalf of the AAEA, Robin, we thank you. The last award this year is the Publication of Enduring Quality. Publications selected for this award have demonstrated a profound effect over time on their respective area of economics. This year, the Publication of Enduring Quality Award goes to Victor Adamovich of the University of Alberta, Peter Boxall of the University of Alberta, Michael Williams of Intelligent Marketing Systems, and Jordan Louviere of the University of Southern Australia for stated preference approaches for measuring passive use values, choice experiments, and contingent valuation. Congratulations to all of you. We now turn to the outstanding articles published in 2019 in our AAEA journals. These are selected by the editorial teams. This year, we are recognizing 4 outstanding AJAE reviewers for their standout service as reviewers for the journal. Sebrin Bang of the University of Delaware, Connor Mullally of the University of Florida, Eric Juki of USDA ERS, and Klaus Van Velt of the University of Wyoming. The outstanding article published in the American Journal of Agricultural Economics in 2019 was authored by Jeffrey Mickler of the University of Arizona, Emilia Jerdstrom of the University of Wisconsin, Simon Verkat of Wageningen University, and Kai Mausch of World Agroforestry for Money Matters, the Role of Yields and Profits in Agriculture Technology Adoption. The outstanding article published in Applied Economics Perspectives and Policy Journal in 2019 was Daniel Millamette of Southern Methodist University, Ian McDough of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for Criminal Incarceration, Statutory Bans on Food Assistance and Food Security in Extremely Vulnerable Households, Findings from a Partnership at the North Texas Food Bank. Congratulations. The 2019 outstanding article published in Choices was James Stearns of Oregon State University for Is the Emerging U.S. Hemp Industry Yet Another Boom-bust market for U.S. farmers. Congratulations, James. The honorable mention for Outstanding Choices article goes to Yuri Clements Daglia Khalil of Texas A&M University and Luis Rivera of Texas A&M University for Brazil's agricultural production and its potential as global food supplier. Congratulations. I will now be introducing a number of Trust Award and Scholarship winners. The Anthony Grano Scholarship is awarded to academically successful, highly motivated students with an interest in agricultural policy and the policy formation process. The scholarships will allow selected students the opportunity to observe how agricultural economics shapes agricultural policy formation by introducing them to decision makers in the legislative and executive branches of the federal government. This year's Anthony Grano Scholarship Award goes to two recipients, the first being Catherine Wiltz of the University of Minnesota, and the second, Betty Thomas of Mississippi State University. Congratulations to you both. Our next award is the Sylvia Lane Mentor Fellowship. This was established by the Committee on Women in Agricultural Economics to sponsor activities that encourage the academic and professional development of women conducting economic analyses of food, agricultural, or natural resource issues. The fellowship provides an opportunity for young female scholars working on food, agricultural, or resource issues to collaborate with an established expert at another university, institution, or firm. This year's winner is Alexandra Hill of Colorado State University. Congratulations, Alexandra. Umalele Fellowship provides up to $5,000 for early career scholars who are citizens of or reside in a developing country to work with distinguished mentors on cutting-edge, policy-relevant research. The funding is designed to cover the costs of travel and expenses for the scholar and mentor to work together on a specific project. The fund's ultimate goal is to create vibrant, long-lasting networks of scholars working on current and newly emerging challenges to economic development in the regions. This year's recipient of the Umalele Mentor Fellowship is Varun Miglani of Deemed University. Congratulations. Next, we have the recipient of the Chester O. McCorkle Jr. Student Scholarship. The scholarship supports applied research by a graduate student on economic issues related to agriculture. Each year, the winner of the scholarship receives $2,000 in funding in support for a specific project or applied research opportunity. This year's winner of the McCorkle Scholarship is Ethan Sabala of Texas Tech University. Congratulations. Our next award is part of the Young Professional Exchange Program between the AAEA and the Australian Agriculture and Resource Economics Society. Each year, one resident of North America is invited to take part in the AARES annual meeting in Australia, called the Heading South Award, and the one resident of Australia or New Zealand is invited to present as part of the AAEA annual meeting called Heading North winner. This year's winner of the Heading South is Lee Palmforster of the University of Delaware. Congratulations, Lee. Next, the AEA Appreciation Club would like to recognize the following individuals. David Bowman of Executive Director, Inc. David Bowman is Chief Operating Officer at Executive Director, Inc., the association management company that manages our association, AAEA. Dave has worked with EDI for more than 30 years and in the association field for 35 years. David has served in various capacities with a variety of associations, including Executive Director of the AEA, and in 2009 received the AAEA Presidential Recognition Award. Peter Burke received of the University of California, Berkeley. Peter Burke received a BA in Mathematics and Economics at the University of California, Berkeley in 1971, and a PhD in Economics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1976. His doctoral thesis was a major contribution to forestry economics. Upon graduating from MIT, he returned to Berkeley, where he spent his academic career from 1976 to 2018. He was the S.J. Hall Professor of Forest Economics and Professor of Agriculture and Resource Economics in Berkeley's College of Natural Resources. Because of his outstanding work as an undergraduate teacher and mentor, he won Berkeley's College of Natural Resources Undergraduate Teaching Award in 2018. Peter Burke not only was an outstanding economist and a compassionate friend and colleague, he was a wonderful mentor to generations of students and made major contributions to the public. Umalele of the Institute of Economic Growth. Umalele, the first woman with a PhD in applied economics from Cornell University, has decades of experience in research operations, policy analysis, and evaluation. A significant part of it is acquired in developing regions from a base at the World Bank, as well as at U.S. universities and other international organizations. Currently affiliated with the Institute of Economic Growth, University of Delhi, India, she became president-elect of the International Association of Agricultural Economists, IAAE, in July 2018. In IAAE's 91-year history, she is the first woman elected to this position. As per IAAE tradition, she is responsible for planning the ICAE 2021 and will assume the presidency in New Delhi in August 2021. Gordon Rauser of the University of California, Berkeley. Gordon Rauser is currently the Robert Gordon Sproul Distinguished Professor Emeritus, Dean Emeritus, College of Natural Resources, and a professor of the Graduate School at the University of California, Berkeley. On 3 separate occasions, he served as chairman of the Department of Agriculture and Resource Economics, served 2 terms as Dean of the College of Natural Resources, and has served on the Board of Trustees of public universities and 1 private university. He was most recently honored by the AAEA for named keynote address at the annual meetings for exceptional and intellectual leadership and his mentoring of leading scholars. He was also honored in 2020 by the permanent naming of the College of Natural Resources, University of California, Berkeley, for his visionary leadership and philanthropic contributions. More than 30 years ago, he was resident fellow at Resources for the Future, a Fulbright scholar in Australia, and named a fellow of the AAEA, the American Statistical Association, and the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Thank you for everything you've done for AAEA and the profession. I now have the great pleasure and honor of presenting our newest class of AAEA Fellows. The AAEA Fellow Award is the highest honor bestowed by our association. Individuals receiving this honor are recognized for their continuous contribution to the advancement of agricultural and applied economics. Their achievements can be in research, teaching, extension, industry, or public service. As we proceed through the program, I will announce each fellow. I will read a brief statement of the fellow's work and contribution. Each fellow will then offer some pearls of hard-earned wisdom in the form of an acceptance speech. These speeches will start directly after I finish introducing the fellows. So without further ado, let us recognize the 2020 class of Agricultural and Applied Economics Association of Fellows. Our first fellow this evening is Awudu Abdullahi. Awudu Abdullahi, who grew up in rural northern Ghana, earned his MSc and PhD degrees from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, ETH Zurich, in 1990 and 1994, respectively. He received the prestigious Outstanding PhD Dissertation Award from ETH Zurich in 1994. After spending some time as a visiting scholar at Iowa State University and Yale University, Awudu became an assistant professor at the ETH Zurich before moving to the University of Kiel, where he is currently professor of food economics and food policy and director of the Institute of Food Economics and Consumption Studies. Awudu is an outstanding scholar whose research is well known for being based on sound theoretical foundations and current econometric techniques, while providing evidence-based findings and recommendations to inform policy. He has brought his rigor and creativity to 4 major current research themes that are all crucial issues in the agricultural economics profession: rural non-farm employment, spatial market integration and price transmission, technology adoption, and natural resource management and consumption economics. Given the challenges climate change poses to food and nutritional security in developing countries, particularly in Africa, Awudu's recent research analyzes the drivers and impact of climate-smart agriculture among farm households. Awudu has also had long-running interest in analyzing consumer preferences and willingness to pay for product attributes, publishing several articles in agricultural and food economics journals in the area. In 2006, Owudu received the Teaching Excellence Award at the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences at the University of Kiel. He was inducted as a Distinguished Fellow of the African Association of Agricultural Economists in 2010. In 2015, he was awarded the African-German Network Association Annual Prize for Research and Development. Owudu has also provided extensive service to the agricultural economics profession. He was associate editor of the American Journal of Agricultural Economics from 2012 to 2016. He has been co-editor-in-chief of the flagship publication of the IAAE Agricultural Economics since 2012 and associate editor from 2001 to 2006. He is also the editor of the Economics Open Access e-journal, associate editor for China Agricultural Economic Review, member of the editorial advisory board for food policy and Journal of Food Distribution Research. Next, I introduce Shenggen Fan. Shenggen Fan is currently senior chair professor at the College of Economics and Management at China Agricultural University, CAU. He is known not only as an author and widely cited journal articles and books, but also a global leader in agricultural economics and food policies. His research covers a wide range of issues such as policy and public investment, agriculture and rural development, food systems, transition economies, poverty, and food security and nutrition. Prior to joining CAU, Dr. Fan served as Director General of the International Food Policy Research Institute, IFPRI, from 2009 to 2019. Dr. Fan joined IFPRI in 1995 as a research fellow. He led IFPRI's program on public investment before becoming the director of the Institute Development Strategy and Governance Division in 2005. He was a member, vice chair, and chair of Food and Nutrition Council of the World Economic Forum. He serves as a member of the lead group for Scaling Up Nutrition, SUN, movement appointed by the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. He also serves as advisor to many national governments on agriculture, food security, and nutrition. In 2014, Dr. Fan received the Hungry Hero Award from the World Food Programme in recognition of his commitment to and leadership in fighting hunger worldwide. In 2017, Dr. Fan received the 2017 Food On Management Excellence Award. The award is referred to in China as the Nobel Prize for Management. This highly prestigious award recognizes individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the field of management. Dr. Fan received a PhD in Applied Economics from the University of Minnesota and bachelor's and master's degree from Nanjing Agriculture University in China. Congratulations, Shenggen. And this is especially good for me since we were classmates at Minnesota together. David Just, our next member of the 2020 class of AAEA Fellows. David R. Just was first exposed to the field of agricultural economics in 1990 when, at the age of 15, he secured a summer job compiling an index to a forthcoming edited volume of papers in the field. Reading the chapters, he found himself fascinated by their approach to valuing policy options and the implications for affected constituencies. This early summer job sparked an appetite for economic research, which continues today. It was then that he decided, against his father's advice, that he would pursue study in the field of agricultural economics. After completing a 2-year religious mission in Norway, he went on to study at Brigham Young University from 1996 to 1998, earning a BA in economics and graduating valedictorian of the economics department. He immediately enrolled in graduate study in agriculture and resource economics at the University of California, Berkeley, where he received an MS in 1999 and a PhD in 2001. Upon completion of his doctorate, he took a position as assistant professor at Cornell University in what was then the Department of Applied Economics and Management. He was promoted to associate professor in 2008 and full professor in 2014. He is currently the Susan Eckerd Lynch Professor of Science and Business in the Charles H. Dyson School of Applied Economics and Management at Cornell University. Just research has made foundational contributions to a number of areas of interest to agricultural economists, including applied risk, food policy, and biofuels policy. He was an early proponent of behavioral economics and in the AAEA. While serving on the board, Just helped develop AAEA's highly successful external communication strategy to familiarize the public with agricultural economics. He has also played a role in the recent focus of AEA on mentoring young researchers. Just currently serves Cornell as an area coordinator for applied economics and policy in the Cornell S.C. Johnson College of Business, which oversees teaching and research of over 40 faculty. Our next member of the 2020 class of AAEA Fellows is Will Masters. Will Masters is a food economist at Tufts University in the Friedman School of Nutrition with a secondary appointment in the Department of Economics. His research concerns the role of agricultural development and food systems in nutrition and health. Will was raised mostly in rural New Hampshire, then attended Deep Springs College, 1979 to 81, and Yale, 1982 to 84. In college, he worked on various farms and took semesters off to live in Haiti and Colombia, then taught high school in Zimbabwe before starting graduate school at the Food Research Institute at Stanford University. For his dissertation, he led 2 years of year-round data collection for Zimbabwe's first smallholder farm survey before completing his PhD and joining the faculty in agricultural economics at Purdue University in 1991. Proud to call Will a former colleague. Over time, his interest shifted to food systems as an influence on health, and in 2020, he moved to the School of Nutrition at Tufts. Will's research in agricultural economics has focused on 3 kinds of information-related market failures. Most recently, Will has focused on measuring the retail cost and affordability of healthier diets, including nutritional information to build new kinds of consumer price indexes. Finally, since the 2000s, Will has contributed to the economics of contest design and incentives for innovation, focusing particularly on the role of promotional rewards instead of winner-take-all prizes. This work contributed to the design of the World Bank's $147 million Ag Results Program and the research for which he was awarded the AAEA's Bruce Gardner Prize for Applied Policy Analysis in 2013. Later, he conducted an individually randomized, fully controlled field trial of proportional versus winner-take-all rewards for improvements in child nutrition among daycare workers in India, for which he was awarded the AAEA's Quality of Research Discovery Award in 2019. Will is a co-author with George Norton and Jeff Alwang of an undergraduate textbook, Economics of Agricultural Development, World Food Systems and Resource Use, and is currently at work on a new textbook entitled Food Economics from Agriculture to Nutrition and Health. Last but certainly not least, I am pleased to announce our 5th and final 2020 AAEA Fellow, Scott Swinton, and my former classmate from the University of Minnesota, where we were in our PhD program together. Scott Swinton is a University Distinguished Professor of Agricultural and Environmental Economics at Michigan State University. His research focuses on how technology and policy affect farmer decisions and the economic and environmental repercussions that ensue. Swinton is best known for his economic research on agriculture as a managed ecosystem, precision agriculture, bioenergy, feedstock supply, and weed and pest management. During the 2012 to 2019 period, he served the Agricultural and Applied Economics Association, first as director and then later as president. How and why farmers make the decisions they do is the core of Swinton's research. He developed a widely cited framework of agriculture as a human-managed ecosystem, Ecological Economics 2007. The framework introduced the notion of agriculture as a system in which farmers combine external inputs with natural services and disservices to transform them into a set of marketable products and non-marketed ecosystem services and disservices. In related research throughout his career in the United States, Africa, and Latin America, Swinton and collaborators have explored farmer willingness to adopt conservation practices in response to changed technologies and policies. Swinton collaborates actively with biologists, engineers, and others, publishing in diverse journals. Among his over 10,000 citations in Google Scholar are articles that appeared in Science, PNAS, and Frontiers in Ecology and the Environment. At Michigan State University since 1991, Swinton has taught undergraduate farm management, ecological economics, and managerial economics, along with graduate agricultural production economics, applied microeconomics, and Research Design and Writing. The last of these courses draws heavily on Swinton's 2018 AAEA Presidential Address. Swinton served as Associate Chairperson and Director of the Graduate Studies in MSU's Department of Agriculture, Food, and Resource Economics, 2011 to 2016. In 2015, he received MSU's William J. Beale Outstanding Faculty Award. In 2019, he was designated a University Distinguished Professor. Swinton served as AAEA President during 2017 to 2018, participating in the AAEA Executive Committee as President-elect and past President in the years before and after. Under his leadership, the AAEA Board of Directors established the publication of Applied Economics teaching resources and created an informal mentorship match-up program. The AAEA also changed its bylaws to allow the association to take policy positions in support of research, teaching, and outreach in agricultural and applied economics, a power it rapidly invoked. While an AAEA director in 2012 to 2015, Swinton co-founded the Land, Water, and Environment section in 2012. He was the case study editor of the Review of Agricultural Economics 2001 to 2004. He currently serves the AgEcon Search Advisory Board. Congratulations, Scott. Please join me again in honoring the 2020 class of AAEA Fellows. Thank you for all you have added to our profession. This concludes the virtual 2020 AAEA Awards and Fellows Recognition Ceremony. Thank you all so much for being here to recognize the outstanding work of our friends, colleagues, and members of our profession. Take a few moments to send well wishes and words of congratulations via the chat box. As a reminder, the Fellows Acceptance speeches will play shortly.
It is my honor and privilege to accept the award of AAEA Fellow, and I sincerely thank the AAEA for this recognition. First of all, I would like to thank my nomination committee, which was led by Tom Redden and included Tom Jane, the late Wallace Huffman, and Ashok Mishra for nominating me. I would also like to thank all the numerous colleagues who supported the nomination, as well as the selection committee for selecting me. It is certainly a very proud and humbling experience for me to receive this award. In particular, I'm proud to be the first African scholar, and of course one of the very few non-US based scholars to be named AAEA Fellow. Growing up in rural Ghana, where we had to walk several kilometers to school, sometimes battling with snakes on the way, and without any access to pipe-borne water, I never dreamt of being recognized at the highest level of our profession. This is testimony to AAEA's goal of recognizing academic excellence. To the younger ones, I can confidently say that hard work pays off and that they should dream big, they should be persistent and remain positive. Time will not allow me to thank all the persons I would like to thank. However, I specifically want to thank my mentor and long-time friend, Wallace Huffman, who suddenly and unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago. Over the last 2 decades, Wallace shared with me his knowledge, his experience, and his wisdom, and kept motivating me. He was really excited when I was named AAEA Fellow. I remember when I was a visiting scholar at Iowa State University, during one of our discussions, Wally mentioned to me that his former supervisor, T.W. Schultz, who was an economics Nobel laureate, indicated once that success in academia does not depend on writing few papers, but on, over time, continuously contributing to knowledge in the field. This statement has helped in guiding and shaping my career. Finally, I would like to acknowledge my family for the support and to extend my sincere appreciation to the colleagues and collaborators, particularly in research centers and universities in Africa, with whom I've worked over the last years. Our collaboration areas on economics of climate change, consumer preferences for organic products, as well as sustainable development, have been widely recognized and have also influenced policies in some developing countries. Once again, I thank the AAEA for this unique recognition.
It is my profound honor to be selected as 2020 AAEA Fellow. I have been working on agriculture economics, food policy for the last 30 years. In 2007-2008, we faced food price crisis. So together with my colleagues, we analyzed the causes, consequences of that crisis, and also advised the government to take proper action to tackle the crisis, to make sure that everybody in the world has access to healthy and nutritious foods. So after 35 years abroad, I came back to China this January. So since then, I have been working with my colleagues on COVID-19 and food and nutrition security in China and globally. So we use data, we use research-based evidence to advise the government, the private sector, even general citizens, how can we work together to prevent a food price crisis. So the lesson we learned is the science-based approach must be used to tackle some of the challenges like climate change, pandemics, and beyond. So I'm here working with my Chinese colleagues and with colleagues of AAEA to make sure that everybody in the world will have access to healthy and nutritious foods under threats of climate change, pandemics, and even some of the political challenges like the trade wars. I want to thank you. Thank you for the partnership for the last 35 years.
I understand that when they first introduced these talks a few years ago at the awards ceremonies, they attempted to have the fellows focus on advice to younger members of the field rather than on the thank yous. Now, sitting down to try and write out a talk like this, I realize just how difficult that makes things, because it really is impossible to be elected fellow without a huge amount of help from a large number of people. So just briefly, I'd like to thank David Zilberman, a tremendous advisor, mentor, and friend, Harry Kaiser and Miguel Gomez, who shepherded my nomination through this process, even as I was questioning whether it was possible. I also like to thank my co-author, Harry DeGorder, who constantly schools me in the vitality and importance of agricultural economic policy. In a less chaotic world, he'd be accompanying me on stage to deliver this talk. My other co-authors and former graduate students, the central role that they've played in my career. My mother and father, who have both had substantial influence on the problems that I find interesting and the tools that I use to address them. And my wife, who really ought to be recognized as an uncredited co-author on basically everything I've written, and my partner on what I consider my most valuable contributions to society. Now, turning my attention to younger folks in the field, in my experience, I find a lot of graduate students in my office that enter just at the beginning of their career, and they have this goal of addressing the grand challenges of the day. They want to shake the world with their research and have wide impact that's going to change the way everything works. And then when the student gets started into their research, they realize that the scope of an effective research endeavor can be described as anything but grand, but rather it's narrow. It's not overarching, it's practical and applied, and oftentimes it's marginal. Some become disillusioned at this and wonder, really, is this a fulfilling vision of what it means to be a researcher? Is this what I really wanted to do? I had an experience as a graduate student when I was a TA in an environmental econ class. It's always stuck with me, and it's something that I think is important. I set out at the beginning of that class to be a great TA. Spent hours and hours of prep time trying to make it so my sections were going to be crystal clear and everybody was going to be able to understand and be enthusiastic and excited about econ just as I was. And I might have been a good TA, or I might not have been. I don't really quite recall how well I did, and nor do I have much data that would tell me one way or the other. But there was this Brazilian student in the class, probably older than I was at the time. He stopped me after the first section meeting and admitted to me that he was out of his depth in class and needed a lot of help. So I quizzed him a bit on the prerequisites, and after talking to him, concluded that he was right. He was completely out of his depths, and tried to talk him into dropping the class and looking at other options. The thing is, he didn't drop the class. Instead, he showed up to every set of office hours and stayed the entire time. Sometimes he'd ask question after question and just try and get his general footing on the topic. Sometimes he'd work in the corner and be really quiet unless he ran into a problem and he needed some bit of help. And other times he'd start asking questions that had nothing to do with the class at all. And I got to learn a lot about him and the reasons he was getting a degree. I came to know something about his character. So a wonderful man, self-effacing and actually very intelligent. He came to know something of me too and what my goals were. Others in that class may have thanked me for my work as a TA, but I remember vividly when this gentleman came to my office beaming because he had done better than he had expected. He thanked me effusively and appreciated the time that I spent with him. Really, he provided what I think is one of my most cherished memories of my time as a graduate student. I guess what I'm trying to say is your impact is really in individual interactions with students, colleagues, stakeholders, and others, and that provides what that big fulfillment and joy is in a career. This lesson's been repeated again and again to me. Recognition such as the one that I'm receiving now, it recognizes a marginal benefit that I've provided to a broad group of individuals, in this case the field, and it's a wonderful thing to be recognized for that, to have people recognize that I've done something that matters to other people. I'm thankful for it. But the reward that makes a career worth it are the one-on-one interactions where you can provide inframarginal value, like the hours I spent in my office with graduate students or with junior faculty, trying to teach them and mentor them, or what I've learned from them and what they've taught me. So to those beginning their careers, please set out to save the world. But recognize that you make the greatest progress in that regard one person at a time. It's the individual relationships that you build and nurture, not the recognitions that make a career fulfilling. Again, thank you for this recognition, and let's hope that we can return to meeting again in person soon. Thank you.
I'm so delighted to get this award. And the real reason is that when I was a kid, my dad gave me one piece of career advice. He said, I should try to work with people I like who do things I admire. And I grew up around farming, but very, very far from the land grant world and the world of the AAEA. I grew up in New England and in France and took semesters off, went to Haiti, went to Colombia. Was looking for a way to work in the world, and was just very lucky in my junior year to take a class from Brian Wright, Introduction to Agricultural Economics, and that made the world make a lot of sense to me. And I was very, very lucky to be able to go to graduate school, learn a lot from faculty, from my fellow students in grad school, but be introduced to the AAEA really only when I was able to go to Purdue, where Wally Tyner, as department head, made me feel so welcome, really saw what I needed and how to help me get started as an agricultural economist at Purdue in a world which is not where I had grown up. And then to be introduced to the association and to work with so many great Purdue faculty and students on so many projects and papers that were presented, inspired, and really nurtured through the association meetings year after year. That's just been a tremendously important part of my career. And then very late in life, being able to come home. My office is just a few hundred yards from where my great-grandfather was naturalized a citizen in Boston, and close to where my grandparents and parents grew up and still live. But I feel like AAEA is my professional, in a sense, family. that welcomed me, that nurtured me, and where my colleagues do work I greatly admire, and are individual people who I like, I get to see, unfortunately not this year, but in the future, I hope year after year. And my only aim now really is to try to make the AAEA as welcoming to as many different kinds of students, different kinds of faculty, different kinds of researchers in different organizations as I can. I now work in a school of nutrition focused on public health, training health professionals primarily, and I feel like the AAEA has so much to offer to those of us working in agricultural and applied economics on food issues, this core area, the mission that I so admire of the land-grant universities and of the AAEA, and we can make it a really wonderful home for so many people and continue this great tradition. So I'm very proud to have this honor and look forward to doing everything I can to make the AAEA as welcoming a place for many others as it has been for me.
Hello, I'm Scott Swinton. To be named AAEA Fellow leaves me in flattered disbelief because our profession has so many excellent candidates. I've been invited to offer some pro tips. There are many ways to succeed, happily, but I'll tell you about mine. I think balance and community are the two key words. I use multi-objective utility functions a lot as a conceptual framework for my work, looking at farmer decisions that balance profitability, environmental stewardship, social status. In my own life, I try and balance professional with the personal, rigor with relevance, economic excellence with the richness of other disciplines. The way that I've been able to do this has been by drawing on other people. So let's start with the professional part. Rigor and relevance, economics and other disciplines. I can't know every discipline, but I partner with other people who do. I can't keep up with all the literature, but by partnering with great colleagues and great students, I've been able to do much more than I would have imagined. But on the home front, you know, that I think is where it really comes home. We all want so many things out of life. We want love, we want comfort, we want to be able to provide for the next generation. And we can't do everything. I've had the great good fortune to have a wonderful life partner in Sylvia Morse. And because of her, so much has been possible in our home life and frankly in my professional life. There are too many professional colleagues to name who have enabled me to do what I've done so far. And I guess my advice to others would be try and be the kind of person who enables and supports and is the kind of person you would want in your life. Because if we can build a community of people like that, we will have a very, very strong profession and many successful people in the future. Thank you.